One day I'll have an actual mouse pad, not a Pokemon player's guide for the trading card game. Anyways. My microphone is off. How about that? At least it's better than the fact that I forgot to plug it in earlier and I was about to start talking to the air. Anyways. Yes, Halo 2. I mean, Halo 3 is legendary as well. Actually, really just the entire original Halo trilogy is legendary. But I feel like Halo 2 had the most cultural impact and the most impact on the gaming landscape of the era. By the time Halo 3 launched, Xbox Live multiplayer was already mainstream. Gears of War had already been out and had been like a massive multiplayer hit. So I'm not taking anything away from Halo 3. I just think that Halo 3 benefited from everything that had come before it, including Halo 2. And Halo 2 did what it did on the original Xbox when most people were still using dial-up. I wonder if Tomcats I told him I was about to stream. But he's still sending me crap on Instagram. I swear sometimes he boomers himself off into other little worlds. just be the Burning Elmo. I really do need to, like, I was talking about this on my last stream though. Not fully available yet, but watching when I can. What's that? What's not fully available yet? You know what? I could slow the Pokeball down a little bit and it would match the beat of the music, I just realized. Let me see if I can do that now. Well, no, actually it matches the beat of this song. Anyways. Says, you said not fully available, but watching what I can. What are you talking about? Oh, the stream? Are you talking about the stream that you're not fully available? Yeah, so I was talking about last stream, and I think I sent you the analytics as well, or a screenshot of it. But my analytics, I was actually kind of shocked when I saw them, because I looked at like the last month for my streaming, and it showed that I had over 42,000 impressions for my streams, which is like seriously for somebody who started streaming a month ago, it's pretty impressive, I think. But what it tells me is that YouTube is trying to put me out there, but only 0.06% of people are actually clicking, and we all know that that's basically because of a thumbnail. Like, title doesn't really matter so much. It's more about like that grab, the visual grab when you see a thumbnail, like, oh, I want to click on that. I mean, I do the same thing. If I see soy faces, I immediately don't click on it. But so I think I need to do, I don't know if it'll be like tomorrow evening or something after I get out of work in the gym. I do need to take some time and redo the thumbnail and just have it kind of, I don't know, I think present a little bit better what the streams actually are, and then maybe more people will click. Even if I can just get that little notch up a little bit, you know? Like from 0.06 to like 0.1. Like, that would be crazy. And a lot of that can be achieved with just the thumbnail. Yeah, he's just... Agent Tomcat just over here sending me reels on Instagram and with his comments on it and stuff. I'm just sitting here like, dude. Oh, true. Yeah. Starfield. I've been playing the crap out of that. I went out today. I had intended to go to the gym, but I ate a donut at the gas station. So I was like, well, I guess I'm not going to the gym. But I bought some new gym clothes. I sent you the picture of that because my old stuff, like there was a zipper on one of the pockets that holds some stuff for me, and that broke. And so I was just like, you know what? I've had these clothes for a couple years. It's probably time to get a new set. So I got some cool stuff, and it'll be nice for going to the gym. But I did that and headed home today, chilled. I played Starfield. I'm really getting into it. This is the thing, is like, it's obviously got the space aspect. It's obviously got the going to different planets and encountering spaceships and space docks and all that kind of stuff. And of course, the setting is completely different than anything Bethesda's done. And a lot of the mechanics are very different. That's what I like is things like the persuasion system. I think is fantastic. I like the combat is so much better than anything that Bethesda's ever done before. And in fact, it's just a good shooter, whether you play it in third person or first person. So like overall, the gameplay is really good. The graphics are fantastic, especially for such a big game. There's a lot of NPCs. Like, besides the ones you can interact with, there's just a lot of them like wandering around and like giving the place life. In a lot of ways, this feels like less like Bethesda's No Man's Sky, because I know obviously there's the obvious connection to that people want to make. But to me, it feels less like Bethesda's No Man's Sky and more like Bethesda's Cyberpunk with space stuff. That's my opinion. Like, I just became like an operative for this corporation on Neon, and now I'm gonna get to do missions like corporate espionage stuff. And I just think there's a lot of cool stuff going on in the background that you've never seen before in a Bethesda game. Famous mod reviewer MXR Plays. Oh, I know who that is. Reviewed it and was like, yep, it has those Bethesda issues here and there. And guess what? I spent hours on one resort getting immersed. So yeah, 10 out of 10. Yeah. I mean, I don't know what about Bethesda issues, because I haven't run into any issues. Like, there's been no bugs. There's been nothing that I'm like, oh, this is an annoying gameplay loop. There's nothing about the interactions or combat or exploration. I'm like, nope, don't like this. Like, it's got all the good stuff of Bethesda with things that you kind of want from like a cyberpunk style game, I guess. and things that you want from like a No Man's Sky type game and like a Mass Effect type game. But like it's so easy to just, it's like when people say, oh, this is the Dark Souls of this, right? It's so easy to just kind of take all the standard bearers and be like, oh yeah, it's like these things, when really it's not. It's its own thing, made by Bethesda, so it has their DNA, but it's its own thing. Starfield is Starfield. Starfield is a grand Bethesda RPG that takes place in a sci-fi setting with space traversal. It's very easy to try and like boil things down to its like simplest components, but that in itself is not actually a very good way to convey what it is. That's their DNA. Well, I mean, like, you can tell a Bethesda RPG when you play a Bethesda RPG. And when you play Starfield, it feels like a Bethesda RPG, but at the same time, it's almost like you have to kind of dig down through all this new, really great stuff to find the Bethesda stuff. Like, it's not wearing Bethesda on its sleeve. Yeah, that's kind of true. How to know it's a Bethesda game? It's just a video game, no BS. Right. And the crazy part for me is I feel like I haven't even scratched the surface yet. I've barely started to do anything. And I jumped over to like the next system. Like I was trying to go to, because I did the thing where you have the dream home, right? Which honestly, like, it's kind of cool. I'm still undecided on whether I want to like keep that or like have them take it or whatever. But I chose that perk or trait or whatever where you have the dream home. So I was trying to go to that system and I had to stop somewhere in between. And when I did, I was like, oh, there's like a space dock orbiting this planet. I'm gonna go check it out, right? So I honestly didn't know what I was doing, because you know what's cool? There's not really like tutorials for everything, but in a good way. So you're discovering the game mechanics, like how it works as you go, but in a good way. So I'm pulling up to this little orbital space dock, and I'm like, oh, it gives me the option to hail or to dock at this place, right? So I hail it, and I get nothing but static. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's weird. That's not a good sign. I feel like there's something going on here. Or I'm running through the possibilities. It's also possible that their stuff is just down, and I go aboard the station and figure it out. Right, it needs to be intuitive or fun. In this case, it's intuitive in the sense that, like, oh, I fly up to the space dock, and then I learn that I can hail or dock at the space dock. I didn't need them to run me through hours of tutorials to explain every single game mechanic. The problem is, if you did that with this game, I'm sure that would be a whole game in itself. Because I feel like there's a lot of mechanics people are just kind of not expecting from a Bethesda game. So, yeah, I fly my ship up, I hail it, I get static. I'm like, okay, so there's a couple things that could be going on here. There's something bad has happened. Maybe their communications array is down. If I dock aboard the station, I'll be greeted by the staff, and they'll be like, hey, can you help me fix this? I don't know. So therefore, I dock, and I get aboard, and I'm like, this is kind of weird. It's a 0G environment, which is kind of cool, and it's handled very well, the way your little boost pack works and stuff. So I'm like going down the hallway into the space dock, and Sarah says, wait, did you hear that? And I'm like, oh crap. And so I like pull out my weapon, I'm kind of drifting along, and sure enough, there was spacers on the space dock that had, like, I don't know if they killed everyone, like there wasn't like a bunch of bodies or anything like that, but they had taken it over for sure and like ransacked the place. So I go through, clear out all these spacers, and I'm like, oh, okay, this is cool. So I loot all them, and then now I can loot the space dock, and I'm not the bad guy. Like, I'm not the one who did anything wrong here. I got rid of all the spacers. Sarah is cool. She's finally agreed with a few things that I've done, and I'll explain that. But like, she's basically disagreed with like everything because she doesn't like it when I steal anything, and she doesn't like it when I agree to anything that is like going to be, shady. But I'm like, yeah, but I'm gonna take the mission. Like, of course I'm gonna do this. So, anyways, but I go, I clear the space dock, and I go and I find there's like contraband, so I pick up that. There's like safes I can crack into and take the stuff. There's this one cool thing where you like go to the manager computer and you get the code for this like safe in this other room or whatever, or not safe, to unlock the jackpot, to like trigger the jackpot, because it's like a gambling dock or something like that. It's like a casino. So I go do that and I get a bunch of money out of the jackpot. It was really cool. The funny thing is, that one Sarah recommended to me, because I went to the computer and it showed that there was a jackpot like ready to be triggered or something like that. And she goes, well, maybe if we can find that code, we can trigger the jackpot for ourselves. And I kind of look over at the character like, wait, what? That's not honest work. So every so often, there's things that she seems to be okay with. But anyways, this was all just a random encounter. And I got like a whole bunch of fun gameplay out of it and got like really cool rewards for doing this. All because I decided to fly up to this space dock, and when I hailed it, there was no response. So I feel like that was like a random in-game event that I got to enjoy and got like gameplay out of. And it had nothing to do with any factions, any main quest lines, no assigned tasks or missions, nothing. It was all just because I warped into the system and decided to dock at the station I couldn't contact. It was really fun. I killed a bunch of spacers, unlocked some safes, stole a jackpot, it was really neat. And then I went back to my ship and I was like, well, I'll be on my merry way. So, yeah, so far it's fantastic. I went down, I went to the planet where I have like the dream home, checked that out. That's really cool. I have to pay like what is it? I either pay them 125,000 credits to outright own it, or I have to pay them interest only weekly payments to actually be able to access it. So I did that, and the funny thing was, I can use it as a stash. Like, that's the main thing I figured out, because I had the contraband stuff and I can't warp into like different systems without them scanning you, right? So I had the contraband from the space dock. I go to my house and I drop the contraband off there. So I'm like, I still have this and I can sell it someday. I just gotta figure out where and how to get it there. And then of course running around the planets and scanning everything and doing the surveys and encountering the alien life is all really cool. But I've like barely touched the surface. I've had all this gameplay and done all this stuff, and I haven't even done anything yet. But that's what I like about it is, versus like No Man's Sky, there is still a point here. The money you're earning, the things you're doing, reputation you're building from like interacting with characters and doing tasks and all that, it will still build up to things that will assist you in your actual career, in your actual journey with Constellation, all that kind of stuff. Whereas in like No Man's Sky, once you get past this one like storyline, there's nothing. There's like no point to anything. It's just fly around and run into all the same planets and harvest stuff to play Minecraft in space. So I could just go on and on and on about how great this game is. One thing I do want to figure out, I guess I should, Agent Tomcat says words. I guess I should go to a spaceport and like check over my ship and see what my actual crew size is and all that kind of stuff. I actually didn't pay attention to that because I have the adoring fan, and so he's already like an automatic free member of the crew. And then I hired another guy. I think he's not a pilot. I think he's like a weapons specialist or something like that. So he's increasing my weapons capabilities. I think the Horizon, I mean not the Horizon. I think the Frontier can actually have several crew members, because I've got Sarah, I've got this other guy, and I've got the adoring fan. So I need to see if I can hire any more people, because I have noticed that other ships that you can purchase have a crew limit, of course. Like, you might only be able to have three members of your crew. Other ones, you could have, like, 8. So but again, these are just, like, all the things that are possible to explore that I just haven't explored yet, because there's just so much to do. I could just wander around Neon, which is where I am now, doing corporate espionage and dealing with the gangs and like all this other stuff, and it's like a whole freaking world in itself. It feels like Cyberpunk in a lot of ways. And then I'm like, oh yeah, I can go hop in my spaceship and I can like go explore the rest of the system and see if I have any random encounters in space or whatever. So what's up, Agent Tomcat? We were just talking about some Starfield. I really hate the way you were allowed to own guns. I really hate the way the YouTube viewer count thing works, because as I always say, there's definitely one that is me, and then it currently says there's 2 viewers when there's at least there's 2 of you here. So it's always really weird. Fantastic music. I have the best stream music in the galaxy. Oh, excuse no, I said that wrong. I'm Rival Indigo, and this is my favorite stream music in the entire galaxy. What's up, Alejandro? Are we playing Doom? No, this is just, hang on a second. Why is the window capture not working? What the hell? There we go. Oh, look at that. It projects over top of stuff. I'm going to have to move it. That's what we're listening to, though. I got to move that down the list. Well, let's sound important. Vector work here. There we go. Make sure it's working correctly. Yep, it's still there. Okay, cool. Vector work. Are you being one of those freelance graphic designer people? Es muy importante. What am I doing? I gotta go into YouTube search. Dur-dur-dur. So Streamlabs, I didn't realize it was a couple weeks ago, but they just started advertising it. They actually introduced Streamlabs Music, which is an app you can run. So I don't have to use this. I could actually do. Let me turn it on. It's kind of cool because it's actually you can use their selection has like copyright music, but it's like, for instance, let's do synthwave. You just play it and then you exit. Do you want to exit while live? Oh, whoa, no, I don't want to do that. That's weird. That's coming through the computer. Yeah, so I can turn this on. Which is kind of cool. It is. Okay. So this is Streamlabs music that's playing. So it's actually got music that is like copywritten and stuff like that. And you can choose from all these different genres, and they give you these playlists. So it's kind of a neat option to use because it's already handled on their end. The royalties you don't have to worry about. You don't have to worry about getting like copyright claimed or anything like that. So it's kind of cool. But I don't know. I like using like a small creator, I guess, who does music. But it's neat that they offer it anyways. I'm going to go ahead and turn it back off. I think this will... Anyways. Song kind of make me feel like we're in toys. Well, that's the kind of stuff I like for streaming. I like that kind of feel. That's why I like this one here that I normally use, Cyberpunk Industrial. Let's see, Ultimate Dash Cams. I'm not familiar with any of these channels. Ultimate Dash Cam sounds like a good one. Fail Army. Idiots in Cars, that's always good. Let's see what we got with Idiots in Cars. Let's see how this audio sounds. Stupid YouTube trying to do stuff. Alright, just gotta test the audio level. Let's watch some stupid people do some stupid stuff. Oh no. Just gonna make it worse. He literally just drives in a circle. Bye. Dear God. You know, it's amazing to me because I am a pretty big advocate for driving and not having automated cars and self-driving cars and all that. But then I watch these videos. Like, what on earth were you thinking? I think I'm going to keep the music playing, but just really low.
Dude, this guy literally just lost control. Oh my god.
Ridiculous. Who does that? Oh my god. I'm dying. Oh my god, no!
Oh. Totally. No! This is where you really hope that people have insurance.
Policeman took off from the gas pump.
A policeman.
Still on the side.
Oh man, the music could actually make these kind of dramatic. Dude, what? Why would you do that? I feel like that's going to be my reaction to everything.
Hit the gas. And boom, hit it. You got it, you got it. Oh! Go, go, go.
At least we tried, right? High five.
Put somebody in the car who knows what they're doing. That's... Oh my god, that's a Florida plate. That's not good. I guess that could be a shortcut. You know, it's always... Oh, that was close. What's always crazy with some of these is the people around them, like, how do you respond to people being complete morons? And oftentimes you get people caught trying to react and not knowing what to do. What? Are they pulling that? Dude!
Oh my god.
Dude, what the?
What is going on here, dude?
He's getting right from
Oh. Okay. Yeah, he's just trying to get away. Ho ho ho. Ho ho. That's scary right there. What? Oh. So these ones I'm like, what are they doing? But then it's like, oh, they're being chased by the cops. That
Hey, wake up! Come look! There's this dude running from the cops!
Well, why'd you roll your window down?
So we stopped. We stopped because of a picturesque view down there. And then my husband noticed something down in here.
There's a car.
There is a car down there. Upside down.
How do you end up in this place?
You right, mate? No, mate, what have you done to yourself? You right? How'd you fucking do that?
How'd you do that?
Oh, mate, you've done yourself a mischief there.
That's not my car.
Isn't it?
That's not my car.
Dog inside, was it? That's your car, mate. Where are you heading it? Where are you going, cat? He's done the old Harry Holt.
What's our pressure?
Why would you roll? I don't get these ones where they're rolling their window down.
Such in parking. Not just one. Not just two. Not just three. But 5 cars.
Wow. Some of the dumbest things ever. Bro, what? Oh no. Of course it's a Mustang. It's so unfortunate because Mustangs are such cool cars, but they get the dumbest drivers. I don't get it though. If your hood blows up onto your windshield, why don't you just pull over and pull your hood down? Oh, that's bad. That's bad. That's bad. I mean, they're in a Jeep. They're doing what they're doing, but it's built for that. People that don't know how to reverse. Why does everyone look like Mr. Beast these days?
In a tube. On the exhaust, and lad from work, he's got no clue. See what
Oh my god. That's a funny one.
Oh, dude, it's so soupy.
Yeah, you're not getting out of there, dude. Okay, just cruising along. What?
Are you okay?
Oh, I just up my heart, my soft top.
Like, you have to be so unaware of your own car. It's so weird to me. Like, my car, when I'm driving it, if it's like an extension of my body. Like, I'm aware of where it is. Just dumb. Alright. I mean, I guess we'll get home one way or another. Just straight into the tree. Why, bro? It's like he's creeping up. He's found his target and go. Are you gonna... What?
Hello.
And some of these are pretty nice cars, too. Like, that's a shame. Whee! Oh, no. Well, I mean, that's the fault of the person in the car behind. Like, yeah, maybe they shouldn't have been stopped there, but you were going way too fast and just not reacting. I will never understand people trying to hang on to moving vehicles other than cops. Like, you're not getting back inside it. Whoa. Whoa. Wow, apparently nobody wanted to watch that. So I need a dash cam is delivered. Yeah. Tomcat has actually sent me some of the stuff he's gotten on dash cam before. I need to get a dash cam. Like, seriously. Oh, you know what? You know what's a good Russia. Russia I think has like very prolific dash cams because of something to do with their insurance and all that. So that would probably be a good place to go. Dashcam Russia. Nice. There's actually a channel, Dashcam Russia. We are sharing. I don't know. That's a little vague. I don't watch this kind of stuff normally, so I have no idea what you're talking about. There. Oh. Maybe that's where we're about to go. I literally typed the one dash cam crash that is timed perfectly with the music on the radio. So, since that's all the information I have, but I think I'm going to go here because this sounds interesting. 8 most disturbing things caught on dash cam footage. Why do we always end up at the spooky video stuff? That is not what this channel is. Yet that seems to be like where my streams always end up. Actually, I need to fix something. There we go. Oh, and then immediately I have an additional viewer. Most disturbing things caught on dashcam footage. This is from Chilling Scares. We'll give these guys a try. Give them a test run.
In this first video, the dashcam footage from a truck caught the exact moment an ambush took place. The video clearly shows as multiple people alongside the highway use
that
an
is
improvised
not good.
roadblock made of tree branches to force drivers to stop. The people responsible were multiple illegal immigrants angered by a recent demolition of a makeshift camp they had set up. As soon as the truck stopped, they would climb the guardrail and throw multiple sticks, rocks, and even lumps of concrete at the driver.
That's crazy.
Luckily, the driver would make it past the roadblock, though he would claim that in the moment he feared for his life, and unfortunately he would receive multiple wounds from items thrown through the windshield that would ultimately require him to seek medical attention.
Yeah, I've seen stuff where they block the roads like this. Some of it's like cartel stuff. Not a good scenario. Grappling hooks and soup to us. What's up, Matt?
This footage takes place at 1:30 a.m. on a Sunday, and it features dash cam footage of a car traveling along a quiet stretch of road in the country. As the car approaches an intersection, a hooded man can be seen standing with his head bowed in the middle of the road. As the car gets closer, the man can be seen attempting to walk in front of it, forcing the driver to stop. And that's when the man can be heard screaming as he lunges towards the car, which of course would force the driver to step on the gas and get out of there.
Whew. Oh, it's Australia, huh? Yeah, his truck's parked over there too, so he's clearly trying to pull some crap. What year was this? 2018, 2019?
That after the encounter, he would frantically try to call and warn his wife, who was traveling on the same road about a minute behind him. Unfortunately, he wasn't quick enough, which would cause his wife to experience the exact same encounter. To this day, the couple claims they were unsure of whether the man was trying to rob them, take their cars, or hurt them in some way or another.
You know, I keep forgetting I want to do the clown phenomenon.
This takes place on a dark and isolated road. It starts out.
I want to set that up though as like a specific stream, and then kind of like promote that stream
out-of-place figure wearing a
as
suit
that.
with a briefcase and an umbrella comes into frame, and directly after, another identical man can be seen.
What the hell?
Man would retreat into the long grass, where suddenly it's clear there are multiple men looking identical to
Bro,
each
what
other.
the hell?
They seem to have been startled by the vehicle, as if they had been caught. When suddenly, further down the road, yet another figure can be seen. This one holding
True,
a flare.
that would be a good Halloween stream, or at least in October. I think October might be a bunch of.
Truly witnessed that night. Though many believe the driver had drove right in the middle of a cold, taking part in a ritual of some sort.
Yeah, ritual with briefcases and umbrellas. Well, I my streams tend to go here, and I don't know why. It makes good content. It's entertaining to sit and watch like creepy videos and stuff, and so it's pretty normal, I guess. But I've been wanting to do a stream where I go over, like, do like a deep dive into like the clown phenomenon from like, what was it, 2015, 2016? Because that stuff freaked me out.
In this video, you
The
can see
cult of
dash cam
international
footage of a parked
businessmen.
vehicle in the middle of an October day in 2014. From
But
the audio,
if I
it's
do
clear
that,
someone
I
is
want to
inside the
like
car,
have
as
like
you
a
can
good
hear the
lead up
window
to
roll
it, you
down,
know, like kind of
followed by the
promote that
driver
as
saying
what
how
I'm going to be
creepy
doing and
something
get
is.
some people to watch it.
And that's when you realize what the driver is talking about, as you can see a man wearing a disturbing-looking mask walk around the vehicle. According to the driver, there were 5 others with the same mask on, not visible from the dash
Oh
cam.
no,
Though,
that would be
even
bad.
Still, it's clear
And
the
this is
driver thinks it's a
2014,
joke,
so this is kind
as
of
you can
around
hear her
that
laughing.
era.
But that's when the masked men break one of the car's windows and proceed to rob the driver of all her valuables. The whole while,
Why would you just
horrifying
sit there?
screams from the driver can be heard.
Yeah, October 29th, 2014.
So creepy. Where'd you get it? Where did you get them?
Yeah, it's right around Halloween. Yeah, they ain't playing with you. That dude's like, yep, nope. Wow. Like, I don't get why she would just sit there. You know, this is what's annoying to me is people who don't, like, read their situation and get the hell out. My, like, the weirdest thing I've ever encountered, my ex and I, one of my exes, years ago, I think it was it was like 2011 or something like that. I can't remember. But we were on a stretch of highway. I think it was like right near the border of Idaho and Nevada. It was, yeah, there's this one gas station, because I remember it because I've stopped there before or driven past it multiple times. Yeah, situational awareness. I feel like there should be like an inborn evolutionary thing there, you know, fight or flight, right? And it seems like a lot of people have just like shut that off for some reason. But so this gas station, I forget what they called it. It had the dinosaur. Sinclair. It was like a Sinclair station with the dinosaur. And so it's right near the border of Idaho and Nevada, and it's one of the spots you're like, okay, this is where you want to stop because there's not a lot of gas stations for a while. So my ex and I, it was the middle of the night, and we pull over to the gas station, and it was like kind of weird at first. Like I had this like vibe from it, right? Like I've been to a lot of like random gas stations in the middle of the night, just because I've driven across the country so many times by myself too. So, like, I'm kind of used to that situation. You pull up to a gas station, it's closed, but you need your gas, so, whatever. We pull up to the gas station. For some reason, I had this, like, weird vibe about it. I was like, there's something off here, right? There was, like, 2 different cars parked at it. It was like a gas station, country store type thing. But everything was shut down and dark in the country store, but the lights were still on the overhead for the gas pumps, right? So we pull up, though, and the moment that I turn the key, like the moment I turn the key off, like the car stops, the overhead lights just immediately go out. And I'm like, F that. I start the car and immediately just peel out of there. I'm like, nope, something's wrong here. I had a feeling when I pulled up, and the moment those lights went out, I was like, no, I ain't about to die. Getting out of here. And my ex, it was funny because she's on this, like, grabbing my arm, like, go, because it was pretty crazy. It was a really weird thing to experience. So, no, you're telling me, and that was just some lights going out. It could have been a timer, just a weird time circumstances, like the lights have a timer and go out at a certain time of night. It could have been anything. But I wasn't going to stick around and take a chance. Yeah, I choose life. I'm sorry. So these weird situations where people just sit there and like let stuff happen to them, like, yeah, they're a victim of it, but at the same time, like, you don't have to choose to be a victim too.
In Saudi Arabia, almost right away, you can see as the driver is slowly approaching a white figure that looks to be holding a cane off in the distance.
Nope.
As the footage progresses, the white figure starts limping towards the vehicle, and after a few seconds,
I don't deal with horror movie
panicking.
people.
After a while longer, the figure continues to move towards the driver, and now obviously terrified, the driver can be heard yelling commands at the figure that can basically be translated
Just because
to
you're
"Back
paranoid
up,
doesn't mean there isn't
away
an
from my
invisible
car."
demon about to eat your
Near the end of the
face.
video, the figure can be heard making a shrieking noise directed at the driver. The video itself is no doubt disturbing, and it's still unclear
I'm often
what the
more
driver
afraid
had
of
actually
weird
caught on video that
actual
night.
people scenarios, though, I expect a demon to do what a demon's going to do. I don't want to deal with people doing stuff they ain't supposed to do. I want to hear this shrieking. That's so weird. What? Oh my god. Oh my god. Dude. Dude, no.
This footage comes from a police cruiser's dash cam, and in the footage, you can see as 3 officers are attempting to assist the owners of a car that had broken down on the side of the road. Though, as the footage progresses, the officers look behind them as if to react to a noise.
Uh-oh.
And that's when all of them desperately try to get out of the way of a car coming straight towards them at an extremely high speed. The car would barely miss the officers and come to a screeching halt further down the road. The driver of the vehicle was discovered to be intoxicated 26-year-old Cedric
Of
Keith
course.
Henson Jr. Though the parked vehicles would receive serious damage, luckily no one was hurt.
Like you're pulled over as a cop on the side of the road, and the drunk driver comes to you. Jeez. That's crazy.
Back in 2016, a sort of killer clown phase would shake
Oh, this is it.
Americans for a few months. It basically consisted of multiple people dressing up in clown costumes.
That's what I was talking about.
For many, the motive was simply to scare people, though others would actually rob and even kidnap people. And during that time, in 2016, a family would drive home in South Yorkshire late at night when their dashcam would capture a clown step out in front of their vehicle.
Oh, man.
The clown would proceed to just stand there and wave, until after a few seconds, the clown would sprint towards the vehicle.
Huh.
The driver of the vehicle would desperately go in reverse, until finally going back in drive, forcing the clown to get out of the way.
This was a weird phase in 2016. This whole thing where this was just kind of happening all over the place. So I definitely have always wanted to like go look into it further and either do a video or like I want to do it as a live stream.
This video shows the dashcam footage of a police cruiser.
Kind of reminds me of the
located in
movie.
Texas. In the video, you can see as the car in front of the
Ooh,
police cruiser suddenly
what was it?
swerves and brakes in an attempt to avoid an object on the road. As the cruiser gets closer, it's revealed that the object is a woman lying passed out on the road.
Oh gosh.
Luckily, Sergeant Scott would stop to help the woman by waking her up and getting her on her feet. The
Not
woman was
it,
overall suspected of having been intoxicated when she ran her car into a nearby ditch and walked back up the road.
There's a
just
movie
to pass
with
out moments later. What's terrifying is just
Liv
how many
Tyler.
times she had been almost ran over prior to Sergeant
And
Scott stopping to help her.
was it Josh Hartnett or was it Luke Wilson? I can't remember which one of them it is. For some reason. But there's a Liv Tyler movie. Where it's like a home invasion thing. People wearing masks and stuff. And it came out a long time ago. And then the Purge movies came out, and the first Purge movie, probably the first two are actually good. I have no interest in the rest of them. But in my mind, for some reason, I feel like the two universes are connected. I wish I could remember the name of that movie. The Strangers. Yes. I think that's it. The Strangers. Let me go look. It's so good. I love it. Yeah, 2008. Yeah, The Strangers. Okay. Liv Tyler and it's Scott Speedman. I was way off. I mean, I guess at least Josh Hartnett and Speedman have like shared genres, but yeah, Scott Speedman from Underworld. But yeah, that movie is awesome. Then so that was 2008. The Purge came out in 2013. So The Purge came out like 5 years later, and obviously like there's a whole like social political build up to the movie The Purge, like in universe. But if you watch The Strangers, there's never like an explanation for why these people were doing this like home invasion scenario with them, and they wore like basically clown masks and all that kind of stuff. And in a lot of ways, they acted in a similar fashion to the way that the people act in The Purge, right? Like they're kind of like getting off on this whole situation and acting in these weird ways. So I have this like, I guess you could call it like movie theory or whatever, where those two universes are somehow connected. Like that The Strangers takes place in the same universe as The Purge, just years before it actually became like an accepted thing that was done. Like maybe it was a precursor to people doing that, you know? So I love that movie though. Played with by family of psychopaths. Yeah.
this first video, this house's Ring doorbell captured a man walk up to the front door in the middle of the night. But rather than actually knocking on the door or ringing the doorbell, the man pretends to do so. At first it
Oh,
seems
I remember
odd,
this.
until you realize what's actually going on. Near the left side of the screen, a car's headlights can be seen. It's clear whoever is driving the vehicle is making this guy walk up and talk to the house owner for a seemingly sinister purpose, as the guy obviously doesn't want to do it. I mean, so much so that he fakes knocking on the door and even fakes a conversation with the house owner, all the while making sure the driver can see him doing so.
That's funny. My brother came up with a book about invisible shadow snakes control. Yeah, that's an old idea I had. Holy cow. I remember this scenario here, so I feel bad for whatever this guy was dealing with. It was probably some kind of weird drug thing.
From the fake conversation, it's clear the driver wants the man to look for someone named Matt.
Huh.
One comment guessed the man could have been being forced to rob the place, but didn't want to do it, making him fake the whole situation and claim no Matt lived there. But to this day, the real motives of the driver are still unclear.
A lot of these things kind of make me scared to actually have a door.
Someone's front door.
Oh gosh.
The woman clearly isn't acting normal, or at least until a car passes.
To have
She
a
breaks
Ring
character
doorbell or
so as
something.
not to draw attention to herself. After the car is gone, the woman can be seen putting her face right up to the camera. After watching the disturbing footage, the house owner would claim he had no idea who the woman was.
She just cracked out.
This doorbell camera video shows the horrifying early stages of a fire in a neighbor's property.
Oh, dang.
As the video goes on, you can see as the fire gradually continues to grow. So much so that it eventually reaches the house with the doorbell camera. At the time of the fire, the house owner himself was asleep, though he would be woken up by multiple notifications on his phone, claiming motion was detected by his doorbell camera. After reviewing the footage, the house owner would frantically run to get a fire extinguisher and desperately attempt to put the fire out.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to put that out with a fire extinguisher. You better just be running out the back door. Dang. That's
After realizing
not
it was
gonna
too late,
happen.
The house owner would escape through the house's back door. It's pretty safe to say that the motion detected notifications that woke up the house owner saved his life that night. This video captured a woman frantically knocking on this house's front door. As she continues to do so, she can be seen constantly looking behind her. And that's when you realize why. A man walks up to the woman and proceeds to grab her firmly, telling her to get into the car.
Dang.
All the while, the woman can be heard pleading for him to stop.
You know, it sucks because, like, in the modern world, I'm not letting anybody in my house. But you have scenarios like this where somebody's actually somebody's actually in trouble.
The man in the video was later identified to be 20-year-old Viktor Kucic, and he would ultimately be charged with third-degree felony kidnapping.
Dang.
This Ring doorbell starts off showing the house owner simply doing her laundry. Though, before she can even enter the laundry room, she can be seen pausing. And the audio from the clip makes it clear as to why.
Oh my god.
A voice can be heard desperately pleading for help. though it's unclear as to where the voice is coming from. Clearly disturbed, and worried it could have been someone hiding around her property, the woman would end up calling the police.
I looked around, I didn't see anybody out on the road or any cars or anything. So I went back to my ring video to make sure I wasn't just creatively hearing something.
I can hear somebody saying something, but I can't.
Well, I posted it on there.
The police would search the whole property, but find absolutely nothing. And to this day, it's still unclear whose voice was talking, or even where it was coming from.
Yeah, that would be weird. Just hear that when you're going outside.
Captured an almost transparent-looking figure walking across the house owner's property in the middle of the night. The figure looks to have no face and seems to slowly become less visible as it continues.
Yeah, these are just like...
The audio from the video reveals the noise of very faint footsteps.
That's just somebody walking by. Wearing camouflage.
After reviewing the footage and examining around the property, the house owner found nothing out of the ordinary, and it's still unclear what exactly was caught on video that night.
I mean, these cameras aren't perfect, and they detect things weirdly.
The owner of this house
sometimes
would wake up to a notification on his phone telling him motion was detected at his front door. And after reviewing the footage, this is what he found. There was an old woman with a knife just standing at his front door, constantly shifting her body weight from side to side. The woman can be seen awkwardly holding and looking at the knife, as well as constantly glancing around her.
See, this is the kind of stuff that makes me not want to have a ring doorbell.
Seconds, the woman finally attempts to ring the doorbell, but seemingly can't bring herself to do it for whatever reason.
Huh. I feel like she might be schizophrenic.
And after 2 minutes of footage, it cuts off. It's still unclear who this woman was.
I feel like she might be like schizophrenic and she's having an episode. She could be hearing something telling her to come here and like lure this person out and do something to them. But she's fighting it off in her head at the same time, which is why she couldn't bring herself to ring the doorbell.
Front door wielding a knife. After hearing his doorbell go off, this San Diego house owner would look at his doorbell camera through his phone, and the camera revealed a supposed door-to-door salesman waiting outside.
It's a tall dude.
The house owner decided to confront the man with the doorbell speaker, and that's when the salesman claimed he was looking for the Robinsons' residence at 712, which was not the house he was at. After being informed of this, the salesman would politely apologize for the mix-up.
This is the Robinsons' residence at 712?
No, you're at the wrong house. It's 721.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I apologize for that.
Suspicious of the encounter,
yeah,
the house owner would send the footage to the local police department, who, disturbingly, confirmed that this exact man was suspected of breaking into at least 19 homes, impersonating a salesman to do so. The man has yet to be caught by police.
Bet a lot of these people don't like the invention of these doorbell cameras.
Killer clown craze of 2016.
Oh, here we go.
This Ring doorbell caught the exact moment someone dressed in a clown costume walked up to its front door. The person can be seen tilting their head and slowly walking up to the door, almost the whole time staring directly into the camera. While it's most likely just someone trying to scare people, there's a small chance something a lot more sinister is going on here.
So weird. Especially because it was like, I mean, eventually it became copycatting, but it seemed like it was all kind of spontaneous at first. It just started happening. Although we look at the world today with all the mental issues out there. It's also kind of not surprising.
To this day, it's still unclear whether the house owner experienced anything further regarding the situation.
It's better be prepared to be shot. I wonder if this channel's not monetized. There hasn't been any ads on any of these.
On June 19th, 2022, a trucker was driving down the PJ Patterson Highway in Jamaica at about 4:30 a.m. Everything seems normal until a few seconds later, a bike is suddenly pushed a few feet in front of the truck. A sort of dark figure can be seen on top of the bike, but it's hard to tell whether it's an actual person or not.
It's just a way to get him to stop. Yeah. That's just a shadow from the headlights, but there was a person who pushed it in front of him.
The driver seems to tense up as he leans forward, but concerningly, he doesn't slow down. He doesn't look too disturbed, simply checking his side view mirrors after running the bike over. Shortly after, the camera showing the trucker even shows him shaking his head and chuckling as he continues driving down the highway.
Yeah, it was somebody trying to get him to stop.
The unsettling footage raises a lot of questions, but the trucker might have actually escaped a potentially life-threatening situation by not stopping. Many people have commented that this is a very common robbery method in Jamaica, in which a dummy or even a bundle of blankets are placed on top of a bike to make it look like there's a person riding it. The bike is then pushed in front of a vehicle to shock and guilt-trip the driver into getting out and checking on the person, and you can probably imagine what happens next. In these type of robberies, the person who pushes the bike rarely operates alone and is usually accompanied by other bandits hiding in the shadows, waiting for the driver to get out of the vehicle. If the trucker would have stopped, he probably would have been the victim of a robbery attempt, or worse.
Yeah, at the very least.
A failed robbery attempt is the most likely explanation for this footage. It can't be 100% confirmed whether or not that's what actually happened. This dashcam footage was taken in 2019 in Queensland, Australia. A silver Ford Falcon with no license plate suddenly stops in the middle of the median strip on Queensland Pacific Motorway, blocking the path of a BMW right behind it. The driver of the BMW stops, and that's when a man and a woman step out of the Ford and walk towards the BMW.
It's so crazy how they'll just do this stuff in broad daylight. Thankfully, here in Florida, one of the laws that was passed the last couple of years was that essentially you're not going to be held liable if you feel threatened in your car, like if people are trying to box you in or attack your car in some way and you flee.
The footage shows the man threatening the driver with a sharp object while the woman tries to force open one of the doors. But eventually the BMW manages to pull away and escape. The rest of the incident wasn't captured by the trucker's dashcam, but several witnesses later claimed that the couple threatened another driver in the next lane and attempted to steal their car, but they were again unsuccessful.
Yeah, look, because their car doesn't look like it's in the best of shape. It's possible they were like trying to run away from, like, get out of town or get away from law enforcement and dump their car, GTA style.
Carjacking attempts didn't end there. Queensland police later revealed that the couple continued driving south on the highway until they reached the next exit where they confronted another driver. Unfortunately, this last attempt was successful.
Like they were trying to like get rid of a car they knew was hot.
Mazda CX-3 hatchback. They drove away with the stolen vehicle, leaving the woman stranded in the middle of the road. Police searched for the couple, but it was never confirmed whether or not they managed to find the carjackers.
But yeah, they because of things that have happened over the last few years, obviously. It was in 2020, I think, is when they initially did like an executive order, and then there was like the law was passed later. But basically here, if you're being threatened in your vehicle by people, you know, people are trying to crowd you, they're trying to keep, you know, impede your movement, you feel threatened, like they're trying to like get to you somehow, and you flee in your vehicle because duh, what else are you gonna do? Just sit there and have stuff happen to you, you know? But you're not going to be held liable. Whereas in many states, you'll still be held liable for, you know, anything that happens, like injuries or whatever.
It's 2018. A tractor trailer was stalled on the train tracks near a small neighborhood in Chester, Virginia. This footage was captured by the dash cam on a truck belonging to a man named Mike Eugene, a nearby resident who stopped in front of the tracks to get a closer look. Alarmingly, the crossing guard is down and the lights are flashing on the tracks, which of course means that a nearby train is on its way.
Yeah.
The song Ghost Riders in the Sky can be heard playing on the truck's radio as a
Nice.
man rushes down the passenger side of the trailer and makes a run for it. The driver and another passenger also jump out of the trailer cab just a few seconds before a train smashes into the trailer, slicing it in half and sending sheet metal flying in every direction.
I feel like this just happens like way too often, like that a car or a truck is like stalled out on a train track. It's so weird. Like of all the places to stall out, it just seems way too common.
Since the trailer's parking brake wasn't engaged, the semi-tractor rolled off the road after the collision. A few seconds after the crash, the man who recorded the incident pulls up closer to the truck driver and asks if anyone was still in the truck when the train was hit.
Nobody was in that truck, were they? You're all out, okay.
Fortunately, the truck driver responds that they had all gotten out on time. No one was hurt during the incident, but apparently this wasn't the first time a train smashed into a truck that was stalled on those same tracks.
Huh.
In 2014, a similar situation resulted in a deadly collision at the crossing. 2 months later, another large truck got stuck on the tracks and hit by a train. The same thing happened again in 2016. This railroad crossing on Curtis Street in Chester has a very steep grade, and there are signs on the road leading to the crossing warning that flat-bottom trailers can get stuck on the tracks.
Huh.
But the signs clearly haven't been enough to stop trailers from getting stuck, making this an incredibly
Yeah,
dangerous
I see
crossing.
that so common though. There's like so many times where you see, oh, a truck stalled out on a
This dash
train
cam
track.
footage from 2020 shows 2 cars blocking a truck's path on an unidentified highway.
Oh gosh.
2 men get out of their cars and approach the truck, aggressively motioning to the driver to get out of the vehicle. In Spanish, the driver can be heard repeatedly asking the men to at least let him pull over to the side of the road. As the third man gets out of one of the vehicles in the blockade, the truck driver communicates with a colleague by radio, telling him that he got cut off and is being asked to get out of his vehicle.
Not demolished on a train track. Nah, bro, just go. Drive around the freaking shoulder.
The driver puts the truck in reverse as one of the men approaches his vehicle while talking on the phone, and this is when the trucker seizes the opportunity to escape.
Yeah.
Just before the man in the black t-shirt reaches the driver's door, the trucker pulls away and swerves around the 2 cars.
That, which is what you should have done in the first place. Like, don't stop there.
The 2 men that were
I also feel like
blocking
all
his path
truckers
quickly
should
get out of
probably
the
be
way to
carrying
avoid
like
getting
a
run over.
shotgun or
One
something.
of them manages to throw what we can only assume to be a rock at the truck, breaking the driver's window. Fortunately, this doesn't stop the trucker, and he's able to drive away safely. It was later revealed that the 3 men were actually cartel members.
Well, of
Reasons
course.
for stopping the trucker are unknown, but judging from the video, it couldn't have been anything good.
I feel like if you're anywhere where you feel that that's a
This
possibility,
dash cam
like
and
you
driver
just
cam
don't
footage show
stop.
a man falling
You just
asleep
go
at the
around.
wheel of a large trailer truck. He looks out the window a couple of times before closing his eyes and apparently falling asleep as his truck races down the highway.
Oh no.
By the time he opens his eyes again and realizes what's happening, it's too late.
Falling asleep at the wheel. Such a. Here we go. Oh crap. Oh, crap. That is...
The truck goes off the road and speeds uncontrollably toward the overpass, and at this point, there doesn't seem to be anything the driver can do to stop it. The truck flies off the overpass and slams down on the ground below, severely whiplashing the driver.
Good thing there wasn't cars coming down the little road down there.
But the impact was enough
Yeah,
to
it could have
send
been
everything
really
flying
bad.
inside the truck, even knocking the turbine off the driver's head. His co-driver was resting in the back of the truck during the incident, and although he could be heard moaning in pain after the crash, neither of the two men were badly injured and were able to walk out of the truck unharmed.
Yeah, well, he's going to have some liability issues there. Dude has a co-driver and he's still falling asleep. He's not supposed to take that.
After watching this footage, many people have commented that if it weren't for the driver's seatbelt, this incident would have ended much differently. It's unknown where this footage was captured, and police didn't release any more information to the public about this case, but it's very likely that the truck driver lost his job and was charged with reckless driving.
Yeah. I mean, he's got a co-driver too. Like
This
there should be
June
nobody falling asleep at the
On
wheel if you
April
got
15th,
multiple
2020,
drivers.
there was an explosion at one of the largest paper mills in the state, which was caught by a nearby trucker's dash cam. As the smoke and debris from the explosion quickly advanced toward the vehicles stopped on the road, the trucker can be heard communicating with his colleagues by radio, and they all sound understandably shocked at the sight of the explosion.
Whoa. Whoa.
Just before the incident, the truckers were on their way to make a delivery of wood to the paper
That's
mill,
crazy.
but luckily they were still on the road when the explosion happened. As the dark cloud of smoke reaches the vehicles, debris starts falling on the truck, completely covering the windshield as the smoke continues to expand.
Yeah, you're gonna have a lot of stuff falling from that.
Before the explosion, the Androscoggin paper mill...
Yeah, you wait for something to come flying through the dash.
At
Or I
the
mean
time of
the
the incident, there were
windshield.
about 175 employees working close to the site of the explosion. Somehow, nobody got hurt. According to the sheriff's department, the cause of the explosion was a rupture in a pressure vessel in the digester part of the mill. The digester is where wood chips are cooked to reduce them into fiber for the paper-making process. 1 year after this footage was taken, the paper mill owners filed a lawsuit against the mechanical contracting company in Florida that assembled some of the machines in the mill, as it was found that the explosion was caused by a bad welding job.
Fascinating.
In February of 2015, this pair of truck drivers was driving down the highway when a white truck quickly sped up to them. It got in front of them and
I think I
slowed
remember
down,
this.
forcing them to stop their truck altogether. They thought the man inside was trying to tell them something, like their brake lights weren't working or something, so they pulled to the side of the road. But once they stopped, no one got out of the white truck. It circled the two truckers and stopped right next to them, even blocking oncoming traffic at times.
What the heck?
The person inside could now clearly be seen, but he just sits there staring at them.
Yeah, so clearly.
They worried the man had a gun, and so they decide to drive away. But this causes the white pickup to pull right in front of them.
Yeah, I remember this. People really allow themselves to be like boxed into stuff a little too easily, I think. I think it's the biggest thing I pick up from these videos.
Does he think you cut him off or something?
That's not dash cam footage.
DC. What's his tag? I can't see his tag.
The truck drivers are forced to back up to get around. They try to record the license plate, but it's not entirely visible.
Oh my, that's a Florida tag.
After a few seconds of just sitting there, the white pickup backs up to be in line with the truck. The truck drivers take this opportunity to try and drive away.
Oh, jeez. Tried to drive in inside of him.
As they drive off, the white pickup rams into their back trailer in what can only be assumed an attempt to get them to stop. But they keep going and eventually lose the white pickup.
So weird.
Further down the road, they park and wait for police.
Just no explanation.
When they did, they started a search, and after a while found the white pickup on the side of the road a bit further down. They detained the man inside, and after seeing the video, arrested him. Police later determined the man was not in his right mind, and the outcome could have easily been worse than it was. This dashcam footage was taken at 5 in the morning on July 29th, 2016.
Big Greg 1, little white truck.
Calais, a city in France that overlooks the narrowest point in the English Channel. It's
Big
headed
rig,
for a
yeah.
port which will take it over the channel to the UK. As it continues on the road, the truck in front of it suddenly brakes, causing the truck with the dashcam to lay on the horn. Shortly after, multiple men with flashlights appear on the road, throwing rocks at the truck, trying to get it to stop. They even use tree branches as makeshift roadblocks.
Dang, they were doing this crap over there too? Jeez.
The truck smashed through the tree branches, not stopping, knowing that if they do, they could be injured or worse. The men in the video on the side of the road are a gang of migrants trying to be smuggled into the UK by any means possible.
Oh, true.
They'll set up makeshift roadblocks, throw rocks at the windows of trucks, stand in the road, all in an attempt to get trucks to stop. If they're successful, they'll use different weapons to threaten truck drivers into smuggling them over the border. Reports of these occurrences, both successful and unsuccessful, come in somewhat frequently. Many other dash cams on trucks driving through the same area have captured similar occurrences. This one shows a hijacking attempt with more people involved.
Yeah, this is the one from that other video. But this is supposed to be in France trying to get to the UK. Because France is overrun with migrants.
Typically, these attempts occur between 12 and 6 a.m. Police in Calais have been working to fully eradicate the issue for years. In 2021, Hurricane Ida, an extremely destructive Category 4 hurricane, hit the state of Louisiana. It was the second most powerful hurricane recorded to have done so. It quickly devastated the southernmost port of Louisiana as it moved upwards further into the U.S. The hurricane created multiple tornadoes as it did so. This semi-truck would find itself in the middle of one of them.
Yeah, you can see it already.
On its dash cam. It happened in Horsham, Pennsylvania. The truck stops at a light, but upon turning green, the driver decides to stay put. The winds quickly begin picking up.
Dang.
Visibility continues to worsen as the power lines on the side of the road finally.
Oh, that would be a good stream. Is like
the truck continues to be forcefully
storm chaser footage. I love storm chaser footage.
Remains in effect until 10 p.m. for southeastern Pennsylvania. Repeating, the tornado warning has been allowed to expire for the following counties in Pennsylvania, Delaware, Montgomery, and Philadelphia. At 3:15 p.m. Wednesday, the stage was 6.4 feet. Moderate flooding is forecast.
It's like, well, the tornado is right on top of me, so.
To rise above flood stage late this evening to a crest of 14.8 feet tomorrow morning. Several driveways and other minor roadways are affected. Water begins to enter some basements.
Oof.
Impact
That is
at
rough.
1.0 feet. High water isolates several houses, resulting in some evacuation.
Oh.
The winds are strong enough to push the truck over. The dash cam falls out of place, revealing the driver still being held in his seat.
All right, docks the driver.
Almost immediately
Stupid
after
dash
falling
cam.
over, a man driving a van in front of the truck turned around and went over to help. The truck driver was assisted out of his truck, where the two men then ran for cover in a nearby building.
Francis Provolone.
The truck
What?
driver made it out with only minor injuries. This dash cam footage was taken in Russia. A driver stopped his truck on the side of the road to change out one of his wheels. As he does so, he notices the same vehicle pass by multiple different times. Worried whoever was inside had bad intentions, the driver walks up the road and finds a steel pipe to defend himself. Shortly after, the car drives by again. By this time,
You
stops.
don't get doing edibles
3
again.
bandits were inside. One of them, seen in a tracksuit, walks up to the truck and attempts
It's
to
actually
extort money
Dogman.
from the
Tom
driver for, quote, crossing their territory. But the driver stays inside his truck and calls for backup from other nearby truckers.
Oh my God, Nokia. Of course, that's got to be a Windows phone. Oh boy.
5 minutes later, multiple trucks respond to his call for help.
Nice.
Now with backup, the driver gets out of his truck and confronts the bandits.
The
with
Russian
a steel
Federation of
pipe.
Truckers.
Meanwhile, trucks continue to pile in, blocking the bandits from retreating.
Hell yeah.
Now with almost 20 truckers, they flip the bandits' car over.
Dang. That's what I'm talking about. You mess with one of us, you mess with all of us. I want to be a trucker in Russia.
To sit upside down on the side of the road as all the truckers begin to leave, having saved one trucker from a potential.
Like, all right, we handled that. On with the day.
This dash cam footage was also taken in Russia. It was recorded on October 29th, 2013. The truck was carrying a shipment through the night. The road is pitch black, only lit up by the truck's headlights. All of a sudden, a tree falls directly in front of it, only seen when it appears.
Oh,
in front of the
crap.
headlights.
Damn. Maybe I don't want to be a trucker in Russia.
The tree falls only feet away from the truck. There's not enough distance to avoid it, forcing the driver into it. He swerves, but avoids overcorrecting more than he should, and therefore doesn't spin out and lose control. This allows the driver to make it out with nothing more than slight damage to the front of the truck.
I mean, you know what's funny is I never considered that was a
This
possibility,
semi-truck
just
was
having
sitting idly
tree
on the side
fall
of
in
the
the...
road when the dash cam captures a silver car pull up in front of it. The car is put in park and a man gets out. He starts walking up to the truck and, seeing no one inside, walks around to the driver's side door. It was left unlocked. The truck driver was outside, possibly changing a tire or inspecting his back trailer. It's not made entirely clear. The man then rummages through the truck driver's things before making
Just
a
random
back
tree
to
falling.
his car, having taken a black bag. That's when the truck driver realizes what's going on and chases
Wow.
after him.
Dumb. Yeah, he must have like seen the trucker like out there doing something with this truck and like, oh, I've got an opportunity. He's like, okay, he's busy. I'll go over to the door here. Just so blatant, like.
For whatever reason, reason, after getting in the passenger side door and beginning to drive off, the car stops and the man throws the bag on the ground. The car then continues to speed off as the trucker reclaims his bag. The license plate was never fully visible in the video, so police couldn't really do anything.
Maybe that's why the guy threw it. The thing, maybe he was hoping, okay, if I give him his crap back, he'll be distracted getting his stuff instead of trying to get our tag. Dude, one of them have Johnny Cash's voice and tell you to find your soulmate. But we're the Roadrunners.
This clip was captured at 5 in the morning on October 2nd, 2022. In it, 3 men are shown standing in front of this house's front door. They're carrying weapons and wearing masks resembling the ones from the movie The Purge. One of them sees the doorbell camera and immediately puts his hand over it. For a good portion of the video, all you can see is his glove. But for a second, he uncovers the camera.
Oh, but were there
all 3 men up close.
What the hell?
They're seen leaned up against the wall and crouching low to the ground, clearly trying to stay out of the view of anyone inside. That's when the homeowner finally wakes up to all the motion-detected notifications on his phone. He pulls up the app, but all he sees is a glove covering the camera.
Yeah, that's scary
Having not
as
yet
hell.
seen the earlier footage, he goes on the speaker and tries to identify who's on his front porch.
Hello? 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 Hello?
The men do not respond, so the homeowner called the police. By the time the police arrived, though, the men were gone.
Of course.
Many believe they were trying to lure the homeowner into opening the door so they could rob him. But why then not try to convince him to come to the door when he came on the doorbell speaker? It's more likely they were
I think
trying to pick
the
lock while the camera
average
was being
police
covered.
response time is something like 8
What
minutes,
they then planned to do when they got inside
depending on
is
the
anyone's best
emergency.
guess.
Like it could be, I think depending on where you are, it's like 3 to 8 minutes or something like that.
This woman had just gotten back
And in
from
that
walking her
time,
dog.
anything
The
could
doorbell camera
happen.
shows her starting to take off the dog's leash when she looks over to the right, causing her to quickly pick up her dog and get inside.
Yo, what?
Immediately, we find out why. A man comes into frame and walks right up to the front door. He tries the handle, but she managed to lock it just in time. The man then starts putting on gloves, and she also mentioned how he was carrying zip ties.
Oh, jeez.
He looks into the house and tries the door handle multiple more times within the next few minutes.
Yeah, right. They'll show up way faster.
To this, the man picks up a nearby garden hose and acts like he's doing yard work. Once the neighbor left, the man walks around to the house's back door.
What the heck?
Camera recording.
I really hate it when people are like sinisterly clever. Like, this is obviously not a smart person, but he's got just enough cleverness because
Tried
he's
forcing the back door open, to which the homeowner
got bad
locked herself in a
intentions.
room and called the police. In the time it took them to arrive, the man tried breaking in almost every window to the house. He broke off the screen to one of the back windows, but was ultimately unsuccessful at getting inside. By the time police arrived, he had left.
Of course, he's already gone.
There wasn't much the police could do by that point. The homeowner ended up posting the video to TikTok in the hopes that someone could identify the man. As far as I could find, no one could. 10-year-old Graydon Dowland is a kid from Riverton, Utah.
I feel like this video is
It
quieter.
was around 6 p.m. on a night in December. He was alone walking home from basketball practice this night. At some point during his walk, he noticed a 4-door sedan driven by 2 men slowly lurking around behind him. Graydon said he started walking faster when he saw it. Then the car drove up right next to him. The men inside rolled down their windows and told Graydon they had candy in the back seat, trying to entice him inside. This happened only blocks away from his house. He ignored the men and only started to walk even faster away from them. A few seconds pass, and he makes it to his house's front porch. His family's house had a doorbell camera, and as Graydon approached, you're actually able to see the car in the background.
Dang, that's
He continues to look over at it as he walks up to the front door. He tries the front door handle, but realizes it was locked.
Oh, come on,
At
man.
the same time, the car's reverse lights turn on, and it starts heading towards him.
Dude. That's not cool.
Graydon yells out and quickly grabs nearby rocks to defend himself.
At least he's smart.
He then runs to his next door neighbor's house. Their door was unlocked, so he let himself in and immediately locked it behind him. The car can then be seen turning around and following him.
Dude.
For the next several minutes, the car lurks around the area waiting for Graydon to come back outside.
Dude, give it up.
Police were called and a report was made. Graydon described the men as being in their 30s or 40s with no facial hair. Both Graydon's family and the police have almost no doubt in believing the men were trying to kidnap him that night.
I mean, he's a smart kid just for, like, being aware of what was going on, first of all. Right, this is the kid. This is the kind of kid that lives to the end of the right, like being aware. And then he's locked out of his house. Like, what? Do you not have like some kind of scenario like your kid is on his way home from school and he's going to be locked out of his house? Like, I don't care if you're home or not. Your kid should be able to just kind of either walk in the door or why doesn't he have a key or something? You know, if he's going to be walking home alone, especially with it being dark out. But thankfully, he was able to get in the neighbor's house. And so I like the fact that he starts screaming and picks up rocks to throw at him and stuff. That's a smart kid.
Belongings in response to an evacuation notice. It happened in Canyon County, California, around the time a wildfire was raging across the area. In the back of the footage, you can see it. Fire and smoke loom over the neighborhood and the hills behind. They pack as fast as they can, but they don't know how much time they have. Eventually, a man runs across the street, warning the family that the fire was coming up.
Everyone evacuate, the fire's coming up!
They finally leave the neighborhood, evacuated to safety at a nearby hotel.
Crazy.
A few days later, the fire around the home died down, and they were able to return and survey the damage. Somehow, their house remained untouched, although the same can't be said for others in the neighborhood. Multiple nearby homes were completely destroyed by the fire. This video was uploaded to TikTok in order to warn others to be aware of their surroundings.
Oh boy.
In the video, the uploader, who was a mother named JoJo, and her son Daniel are returning home late at night. They open the front door and go inside. Once they close the door behind them, a man can be seen in the frame, walking up to
No
the
way.
He immediately tries opening the door.
Bro, he was right there.
Go shower really fast. I need you to go shower.
You hear that lock though? That's
Who's that?
JoJo and Daniel engage in an argument, with JoJo telling him to go shower while he says he's too tired. Yet this doesn't drown out the clear sound of someone grabbing the front door handle only seconds after JoJo had locked it.
yeah. You heard the lock click. That was
that
was good.
She yells out for him to leave. The man takes one step back, but stays in front of the camera.
He looks like a splicer
Doesn't
from
respond.
Bioshock. Yeah.
Rather, just stands there with a blank expression.
Probably high.
Who is that? Get out of here!
So many of these times, these people, they're like unresponsive like this.
There's a guy outside. Look.
They're on stuff.
It's not known where the man came from. It's hard to see with the door blocking the view. Some think he had been following the two all the way back home, while others believe he was.
That's
headed
so
to
crazy.
Mexico,
That's
specifically
literally a
to
moment
Mexico.
from a horror movie right there. Like the doors, that's like cinematic stuff going on. That's some good cinematography. The door shuts, you know, you can only see from their perspective, and then there he is walking right up to it. That's good.
Either way, what he had planned to
Well, I
do
mean, it's not
afterwards
it's
was
not good at
to
all.
his
This is
own
real life. This isn't a movie, but that would have been a good shot in a movie.
The man was gone by the time they arrived, so it's likely we'll never be able to know for sure.
I mean, you'd think they got pretty darn clear footage of the dude that they would be able to identify him, because more than likely, somebody like that has been in the system at some point. You know, he's probably got like a drug charge or something going on. So in a movie, he'd be much closer. I don't know. It depends on the movie. So some directors get those real life scenarios pretty good. But you'd think with that clear of footage of the guy's face and everything that they could identify him, because like the vast majority of time, people who are doing something like this or like where he was at, he's been in the system at some point.
A woman posted a set of Ring camera videos to the internet. She explained how her mother had recently installed 2 Ring cameras around their house. On one of the first few nights of having the cameras, her phone would get spammed with motion-detected notifications. She reviewed them, and this is what she saw.
See, my problem is if I had one of these, it would definitely be going off all the time, because I have stuff I'll hear brushing past my door all the time. We have like armadillos, raccoons, possums. We actually have rabbits. Like you'll step out of because like I have the guest house, right? You'll step out of my guest house, like if I want to walk over to the main house, and you'll immediately hear this noise, like just darting through the grass and stuff. And it's rabbits. Like we have rabbits out in the yard. So if I had one of these, it would just be constantly going off from the animals and stuff. Like I've literally opened my front door and heard something, and it was a possum walking along the outside of the house.
Some man was walking around the outside of the house. Though something she picked up.
Now everyone knows you live on an animal farm.
Like, as if you already knew the exact
Well, if you want to get
time
bit
of
by
the
a
inside
raccoon
house.
or an armadillo or
She
something,
agreed
then
this wasn't
be
his
my
first
guest.
time. He would walk around looking at
Armadillos
different
are nasty.
windows, which included hers.
They'll mess you up.
Seeing this, she called the cops and reported it. They later showed up, but by that time the guy was gone. There wasn't much they could do. They basically just told her to keep her blinds, curtains, and windows closed at all times. She rightfully worried he might show up again, so she set up a trap of sorts outside her window.
Ha.
She strung a piece of rope between 2 trees, hoping the man wouldn't see it and would trip over it, making a lot of noise, alerting
Nice.
her of his presence. Disturbingly,
That's smart.
exactly a week later,
Most
at
people don't
2
think of that
a.m.,
stuff.
She would hear someone trip over the rope. Immediately, she pulled out her phone and opened the live camera feed. Standing directly outside of her window looking in was the same man from before.
Dang. What the heck, dude?
After she saw this footage, she went up to her mother's room and told her about the man. The 2 of them went back to the window, opened the curtains, and started banging on the glass to scare the man off. They called the police, but once again, when they arrived, the man was gone.
Yeah, but you got a
The man and her
decent
mother ended up
profile of him
moving to a
there.
new house. They never heard anything more from police, leaving them to believe that he was never caught. The doorbell footage shows the sudden explosion of a home in Arlington, Texas. It was 2 a.m. on January 1st, 2022, when a few houses down, the giant explosion goes off.
Whoa. Holy cow.
The explosion was reported to have been caused by a gas appliance that wasn't fully shut off. Fortunately, no one was in the home when it happened. In fact, there were no injuries resulting from the incident.
That's crazy.
However, the damage was extensive.
Oh, yeah. I do remember
Not only
this.
did the house suffer major structural damage, but flying debris hit nearby buildings as well. Residents in the apartments across the street reported blown out windows from the explosion.
Man, that really wrecked that place.
Parked vehicles also were damaged. The authorities received multiple calls immediately after the explosion went off.
Just boom.
This video was uploaded to TikTok in September of 2022. The uploader said it was about 3 a.m. when his doorbell camera captured a man walking across the street. He walks directly towards the house's front porch and eventually right up to the camera, at which point you can see the man is wearing some kind of mask with a drawn-on mustache.
Of course. Ugh.
The homeowner eventually woke up from all the notifications on his phone. He sees the man looking inside through his windows and trying to open his door. To this, he immediately threw on some clothes and went outside to confront the man.
What's he got, a golf club? He's literally got a golf club.
When he didn't find him, he opted to call the police and send in a report. Likely nothing came of this. The uploader never gave an update, but considering the man was wearing a mask, he probably won't ever be identified.
Yeah. I like these. These are pretty good. No, it was a golf club. You could see the thin little part with the golf club head on it.
The homeowner eventually woke
like
up
just the
from all
thin
notifications on
the
his
stick.
phone. He sees the man looking inside through his windows and trying to open his door. To this, he immediately threw on some clothes and went outside to confront the man.
See the little handle and little silver stick, and then you'll see right here, he's got the head. Only the coolest people. Only the coolest people's walls are just full of swords everywhere. I wonder if this is a... Oh, that's a different one. Okay, so Traveler has a long sword, Tai Chi sword, and arming sword, and axe. She wearing like something on her nose? What the hell?
In Flint, Michigan, on April 24th, 2023.
Well, we know they're all full of lead.
The house had 2 Ring cameras, one above the garage, and the other was a Ring doorbell camera. Around 10 p.m., a man in a red jacket and another person just behind him are shown walking up to the house's front door. Before knocking or ringing the doorbell, the man in the jacket immediately starts trying to break down the door.
Jesus. You only got the 2 arms. Dang.
The Ring camera falls to the ground from the impacts, but the door itself doesn't budge. After those few seconds, the man walks around to the house's side door and again immediately starts trying to break it down.
They really want in there.
At this point, the homeowner had woken up in a panic and was checking their camera's feed for an explanation. They noticed their doorbell camera on the ground, and so they switched over to their other camera. As the banging noise rang out throughout the house, they could now see what was causing it. The homeowner's voice coming over the speaker was enough to scare the 2 men off.
Yeah, because they also know they're on
Police were
camera
called
now.
out to the property.
And only one of them was wearing a
They
mask.
noted that one of the men was armed. What these 2 men planned to do with the people inside if they had successfully broken in is unknown. It's unclear if they were ever identified by police.
Well, that guy's face is clearly visible multiple times.
This clip was captured at 3 in the morning on April 9th, 2023. It happened in Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Is that a fake nose
The
or
owner was sleeping when the clip was recorded.
or what the hell?
It wasn't
Oh
until he woke
God.
up and saw a notification on his phone that he found out about it.
No, she gotta be a
He reviewed
druggie.
the footage, horrified. This is what he saw. A woman is shown trying multiple different keys to get into the house and even looking around for a hidden one.
I think she thinks it's her house. Yeah, she's real messed up. She thinks it's her house. She thinks that's a key. The little pistol lighter. She thinks it's a key.
The homeowner claimed that he had never seen this woman before. He said that she later started throwing rocks at his car and trying those locks.
That's a
Likely
face
she
for
was
radio.
under the influence of something.
Oh, she's
Multiple
very
times
under the
she tries
influence.
to
Her
insert
nose is
keys
all
into the
screwed up from
doorbell
whatever
camera
she was doing.
itself. After a few minutes, she walks off and was never seen on the property again. Her intentions are unknown.
She didn't have any intentions. She thought it was her house because she's so
Walter
messed up.
Hickox is a homeowner in Daytona Beach, Florida. His home is set out in a wooded section of the city. In January of 2022, Walter was taking his 3 dogs out onto the porch when he noticed one
Aw,
of
he
them
got some cute
intently
puppies.
looking at something outside. The dogs suddenly start running to the left side of the camera.
Oh,
That's when
crap.
Walter realizes they were looking at a black bear. The bear climbs over a protective railing as it goes for the dogs. With barely any time to process what he was seeing, Walter lunges at the bear as it goes for his dogs. He manages to push
Florida
it back
man right
before he
there.
shoves a nearby chair in the doorway, preventing it from attacking again. He yells out that he was attacked by a bear as he brings his dogs back inside.
He was on the fight side of the fight or flight.
It all hit me, and I started bawling. I couldn't believe how close to death I was, and I did it for my dog.
Walter received minor injuries from the bear. His dogs didn't receive any injuries.
Yeah, but it's also a small bear. It's probably
This homeowner in Texas.
it's probably a juvenile. And I'm not saying that wouldn't have messed him up still, but bears are also frightened easily too. Like if they're not expecting certain things to like make noise at or come after them or whatever, like that bear probably just saw the dog and thought, "Oh, I'm gonna get that dog." It probably wasn't really aware of him and wasn't expecting him to lunge forward like that, and it took off. You know, it didn't stand and fight. Bears are actually like more skittish than people think. That's why if you're out in the woods and stuff, you're supposed to make noise and stuff because it disturbs them and they don't want to be around you.
Just got a knock at their door for a DoorDash delivery around 1:20 in the morning. Only the homeowner hadn't ordered DoorDash. She was sleeping.
If it's black, fight back. If it's brown, lay
There was
down.
only her and her nephew in the home at the time. She remembers waking up to a metal clinking sound, but didn't think much of it until she noticed damage to the outside of her house the next morning.
God damn.
This caused her to look back at her cameras, both the footage
That's,
from her doorbell camera and the one she had set up in her backyard.
Quite the flare there.
This is what she saw.
That's annoying.
DoorDash.
DoorDash. Oh, man. Bro.
The first video isn't as concerning. A woman standing at the door claiming to be with DoorDash from 1:20 a.m. to 2 a.m. This could be written off as a determined delivery driver that unknowingly had the wrong address. But it was the backyard footage that was genuinely concerning.
No.
At 2 a.m.
She's standing there for 40 minutes. DoorDash driver ain't going to wait 40 minutes. She was meant to be the distraction or bait while they were around back.
Before men got into the backyard and tried to gain entry into the home through a window. It's likely they planned on entering through the front door by ambushing the person that opened it for the DoorDash delivery. But when no one answered, they resorted to trying the backyard while the fake DoorDash deliverer stayed out front as a distraction. However, fortunately the men would be unsuccessful and are shown running away from the house on the backyard camera. The 4 men and the woman at the front door were all seen leaving the area together in a dark-colored sedan. They were never caught by police. In June of 2019, multiple homes in Chicago got a visit from a man claiming to be an investigator known as Jeff Rushmore. The only problem is that man doesn't exist. He was impersonating an investigator with the local police department, fully equipped with a fake uniform, a fake badge, and fake police radio chatter. This Ring camera caught him performing the act.
Can you open the door?
26, I got you en route. Hill Park, District 821, gonna be the 6th person. 900 North Villa, 900 North Villa, looks like PD is with them and have him in custody. Dylan, 84. Alarm 4739 Forest, 4739 Forest across the Chicago Prairie, called in by a resident.
Maybe I should unmute my mic.
Nothing showing. Engine 103.
Wow, this is
George, the individual's not answering the door.
The homeowner doesn't answer the door, yet the man stays in character, even faking a call back reporting the unresponsive homeowner.
That's not how any of this works.
Another home in the area equipped with a Ring doorbell camera shows the same man.
They're not going to come to your door in a suit like that. And even if they're an investigator or a detective or whatever, and if they want you like to be coming out of the home, there's going to be like uniformed officers and stuff like that. This is so
The
fake.
homeowner does open the door.
Hi, sorry to bother you so late. Rushmore with the Winfield Police Department. I'm an investigator. One of your neighbors down the street reported a missing.
The video cuts out there. The man explains a
Yeah,
missing
that's
person
not how they
case,
do anything.
and the homeowner says he doesn't know anything about it. The interaction ends. The motives behind him impersonating an investigator are unknown. Often there are cases like this where the man
That's
is simply
true.
trying to get people to open their door thinking they're safe, but proceed to rob them, or sometimes worse. However, he doesn't do this. No one knows his motives. One commenter said,
Again,
I honestly believe he was testing the waters, and as he felt more confident, he would have escalated from getting people to open their door to entering into people's homes to only God knows what next.
true. I just find it so crazy because these people are so easy to identify.
According
Like,
to recent
he better
documents,
never
the
show
man
his
was never
face doing
identified.
anything again because his face is all over the internet now.
This video was captured in Kansas City. The doorbell footage shows a man appearing on the left side of the screen and climbing on the guardrail. He was trying to stay out of frame as he attempted to take the Ring camera off of the home. Inside the home was a woman and her son.
Wow.
The man was the woman's ex-boyfriend. He failed to remove the camera, so he left, but returned 30 minutes later. This time he had a cloth to cover the camera.
But you can already see you. Stupid.
Well, maybe it is stupid, but it's also dumb.
3 minutes later, the homeowner's son ran into her room, frantic, telling her their car was on fire. Police and firefighters were called to the scene.
Wow.
Not before the fire destroyed their car and most of their home. Marianne, an expert in abusive relationships, responded with, "Abusive relationships are about power and control, and when that power and control is taken away or it's minimized,
I just
that
will
only
never
fear
understand
those
people
efforts
that
are
do things
escalated to try to
like
get them back.
he ruined his own
Police
life
are currently looking for
by
the
like
homeowner's ex-boyfriend
being
seen in
involved
the
in this
video.
stuff.
This happened in April of 2023 in a wooded section of Asheville, North Carolina. The homeowner of this house got a notification saying motion was detected in her
Got
front
the
door.
bears.
She opened the app on her phone and saw 3 bears on her front porch. They were tearing open a package that had recently been delivered.
No, that's my
Inside
Amazon.
the package was dog food, which they easily would have been able to smell. The homeowner opened her door and confronted the animals, trying to scare them off.
The bears. They should run off pretty easy. Yeah, at least they're just being bears. They're not just like crackheads and whacked out people. Yeah, see, they're like, uh-oh. We gotta go. Take the food. Yeah, see, most of the time bears don't want confrontation.
They're seen on the right side of the screen with the bag in their mouth as they walk off. This footage was captured at night just before 2 a.m.
Because you got to think about what a bear deals with in nature. They have no natural predators. Like, they're an apex predator. So there's very few things, and most bears don't deal with, like, wolves and stuff. That's an exception. Is like wolves will mess with bears. Unless they do cocaine first. True. But most bears in nature, they don't have anything out there that's going to like approach them, that's going to like come at them or confront them. So I feel like what happens is in these scenarios, like when something does, when a person does out of the blue or whatever, that it scares them off because they're like, what the hell? Stuff doesn't do that, you know? Everything runs from me.
It shows a man ringing the doorbell to this home in Rochester, New York. Immediately after, he hides behind a parked car. He's seen crouched down, holding some kind of club in his hand, breathing heavily and sweating profusely.
Yeah, he's on stuff.
He nervously looks back and forth from out at the street to back at the house's front door.
It's amazing the behavior people will display when their minds are screwed. Well, the most common bear we have here in the U.S. is the black bears, especially down here.
The man clearly looks to be on something. He realizes no one is
Finish
going
him
to answer
off
the
with
door
the
and he walks
wrench.
away. Another minute passes when a voice yells out that the police are on their way. It's unclear whose voice this is. There are 2 main possibilities here. Either this man was hiding from someone for one reason or another, and he was trying to get inside the house so that he wouldn't be found, the voice being the person he was hiding from. Or he was trying to bait the homeowner into opening the door, where he then planned to do who knows what. The voice here being a concerned neighbor that saw what he was doing. Either way, the man most likely did not have the best intentions.
That's possible, because when you look at that situation, he's ringing the doorbell, but then he's hiding behind the car with his back to the door, looking out this way, right? He's not like hiding on that side of the car, waiting for the person to come out the door. So it definitely feels more like a situation where maybe he was trying to get the attention quietly of somebody here, because somebody out here was, possibly after him. Whether or not it like legitimately they were after him or not, that's an interesting situation. Like, it doesn't look like he was trying to hide from the camera or the house. He was trying to get attention there, and then he was hiding on this side. So, either who, I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up for tonight. It is 2:18 in the morning. Got about 2 hours or so in here. I got to work tomorrow. So, and thanks for joining, everybody. I always like doing these. I gotta find some other subjects though. I gotta find some. It's funny because I've done food videos, which that's a really fun stream. I've done server life stuff, which those were good streams as well. But yeah, I've got to do some stuff besides the spookiness. I mean, they're fun videos and I enjoy them, and I guess people like watching them too. But yeah, I definitely want to start getting into some other things, some other subjects and interests. Like keep a variety of it, so it's not always this. So, either who, if you have been here for this, try not. Yeah, those could be good, but like those are like the you laugh you lose type stuff. I've watched a lot of that. That's not really the kind of thing I want to like get into reacting to. I like stuff where it's kind of we're examining what's happening and talking about it, whether it's like these videos here or the creepy ghost videos or whatever, that all that kind of stuff, or the where they're exploring and urban exploring and stuff. I like those because it's something you can kind of break down and talk about or try to debunk or whatever it is. But I've had previously, like in the first couple weeks that I started streaming, I actually was doing where we'd watch some food videos and talk about that. Those were cool, like where people were making stuff. What is it? Street carts and stuff, like Asian street carts. And then I had some others where there's a channel I was watching. It's literally just called Server Life, and it's very relatable for working in the service industry. But overall, I think I'm definitely going to try to mix things up, bring a little diversity into like what we're watching or checking out in general. Yeah, street food's a good. Oof. Unfortunately, it makes you hungry. Like you're sitting there watching, like, yes, I need all of this food. But McDojo life? McDojo life? But either who, like I said, definitely appreciate everyone being here. It's always good to have people to actually talk to. BS martial arts. Oh, yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, that would actually be pretty funny to watch. That would be pretty good stuff. I love those. Like, this is how you escape from this or that. And you're just like, that would never work on anybody or in any scenario. Either who, thanks for watching. Thanks for being here. If you can, leave a like. There's Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. I do my live streams about midnight. I'm occasionally trying to throw in some other random stops, like during the day or earlier in the evening when I can. And then, of course, every Sunday, there is Weekly Takes, which is my mini cast, usually 3 subjects, about 5 minutes long, just kind of give you a rundown of what my thoughts are on some things throughout the week. And coming up, I do have some projects. I want to do some actual long-form video content that I want to get back to doing. But doing the live streams and doing the podcast kind of affords me the freedom to kind of wait until I want to get a subject and do that right. So either who, at Rival Indigo everywhere on the internet, which is pretty much just Instagram and Threads at this point. And yeah, hopefully we will see y'all on Monday. Have a good weekend.